back to another session, but it appears that the nice weather has left me, unfortunately. I woke up after another good night of sleep, by the way, and I checked the weather forecast, and it was showing that it was gonna rain almost for sure. So I got out of the house as soon as possible. It was around 8:30 in the morning, and I immediately felt that it was a bit colder. That's why I took a jacket with me. It was very windy. Um, Not to the extent that it was disrupting my workout, but it was taking a few degrees of the actual temperature, which was, I believe, around 10 degrees Celsius, so it wasn't that cold. I got to my spot and I was doing the usual warm up. I actually went for a jog today. I felt pretty good. I wanted to see if any annoyance would come up doing some jogging. I didn't experience anything, so that's a good sign. The trial of fire is gonna be when I go back to the gym with the loaded squats. So we'll see about that. But in the meantime, the knees are feeling pretty good. Now looking at the usual working session, started off with dips on rings, and then I superset those with pull-ups, and then I went for a small tweak. I decided to go into the lunges and then doing push-ups and then doing the good mornings. The idea behind that was that maybe if I could alternate upper body and lower body exercises, then I could get a bit of a rest. Uh, Not that those lower body exercises were crushing me or anything, but it was more oriented to upper body recovery in between sets. I went for an extra rep on both the dips and the pull-ups and also the leg raises. I kept the lower body volume to the same level that I did yesterday, but I felt like I could push another repetition on both the dip and the pull-up and the push-up as well. And they all felt good. I didn't really feel like I was grinding the last one, so I'm still acting within a volume that I can recover from day to day. So that's a good thing. And I feel like I'm getting close enough to failure on each set, and I'm not just doing a grease the groove style set with a lot of reps in reserve. So uh, the fact that I'm able to add a rep every day is probably because these are exercises that I haven't been doing for a long time, and so there is a bit of a newbie gain component to that. When an exercise is a novelty, it's very easy to progress because I'm starting from a very low point from a volume perspective from what I'm able to do, and so I'm able to really add repetitions every day basically. And this is the second giant set. I was doing 8 dips on the first one and 7 on the second one, and then the same was with the pull-ups. They all felt good. There was no weird repetition with the shoulders getting out of position. I was feeling pretty good with these, and the usual leg raises that I'm adding a rep to each set as the days go by. I was thinking about maybe adding another set to these exercises that I'm doing, but that's probably a bit of a greedy expectation. I should be progressing these in as safe a manner as possible, in the sense that allows me to come back to it every day doing the same stuff. I wouldn't want to push another set for one day and then waking up the next day that I'm feeling very sore, and that affects my next session. So it's probably best to be cautious with these, especially because I'm only gonna be here for another 5 days, and so eventually I will go back to the gym. I don't think that I will be taking the rings with me to the gym. It's already busy enough without me taking over some space and having to adjust the rings between exercises. After these, when I'm gonna go back to the gym, I will go back to the usual stuff, the squats, which hopefully will be fine, and I will be very cautious in progressing the deadlifts, the overhead presses, and all that kind of stuff, and the handstands as usual. So 3 repetitions on these, and I believe that there has been a bit of progress. It doesn't really look like that looking at these few repetitions, but I was feeling that when I tap my forehead onto the ground, I can actually hold that position for a split second, which is better than even the previous day when as soon as my head touched the floor, I was collapsing down. So it's a change that I felt more than something that I can actually see rewatching the footage. But I actually had a comment from someone who was watching the previous video from a previous session and was saying that it seems like I'm doing the right stuff, and he was actually suggesting me to do some chest to wall volume. And this is a very good suggestion. It's something that I have been thinking about doing before coming down here, and something that I'm definitely going to be doing when I go back to the gym. Chest to wall takes a variable out of the equation. It makes volume more easily achievable. And what he was suggesting was to build up to a 3x3 and then to a 3x5. Since I'm doing these every day, I'm not sure if how much volume I would be able to tolerate going in daily with these. But again, the smart choice at this point would be probably to do a set of these and then just do handstands for the next couple of days and then come back to that. That could probably be a good way to think about that. But I'll have to evaluate many things. Ciao.